Like many people, I've been eagerly awaiting the commencement of the new coercive control laws in Queensland for some time. They kicked in May this year, and unfortunately they're not retrospective, which means that any conduct that occurred before that cannot be brought into a claim of coercive control. Now, personally, I think that's a bit crazy because it is a pattern over time. So it's very hard to pick where you cut off that time. So look, I've actually got a media release here from the Queensland government, and I wanted to draw to your attention the one part of the new legislation that I was actually really excited about and thought would particularly help my situation. Maybe not yours, but mine. You see, my perpetrator is not working alone. I have been brutally betrayed by some people that I trusted greatly. A small group of employees that were in my business have actually enabled these crimes to take place. And I will take you through that, but let me just kick off with what the law does say with respect to aiding or helping people to commit acts of domestic violence or any sort of crime. So there's a new section here, and I'm just reading off it, engaging in or using domestic and family violence to aid a respondent. So from the 26th of May 2025, Queensland also has a new offence. Now, I'm not sure about other states. You'd need to go and look into this yourself. But the new offence is to stop people using domestic and family violence, including coercive control, on behalf of a respondent. It's also referred to as a perpetrator or a person using violence. So under this new law, it's illegal for anyone, including friends, families, employees, carers, neighbours, to intimidate or abuse a victim survivor who is named in a domestic violence order or has some form of police protection order on behalf of the person using the violence. Okay, so let's sum that up. If a perpetrator pays a private investigator, pays someone to break into your home, kill your animals, pays your employees to buy your passwords or access your phone or put spyware on your phone, approaches someone who works for you to put an AirTag on your car, in your office or in your house, and yes, all of the above have happened to me, then these people are now liable. So those found guilty of this offence could face a maximum penalty of a fine or 3 years imprisonment. Under this new law, it's also illegal to hire third parties, including private investigators, to locate and monitor a victim survivor that's named in a DVO. So they are now starting to realise that perpetrators don't act alone, they outsource. Those perpetrators that have contacts or financial resources are certainly able to afford a lot of these attacks. So this part of the legislation alone applies to me. I had a small HR business. I hired and made some very bad recruitment decisions in 2019. But I was personally in a very vulnerable situation. I just had pretty major spinal surgery. I've got a bad spinal disease, and I wasn't very mobile. I had a young 5-year-old, I had a business, I was in and out of a wheelchair and a walking stick. So perhaps I was a very vulnerable person, and the people that were around me saw the opportunity to get their hands on a little bit of the pie that I had. So I'm going to pause there and let you sink in, okay? And think about if you have evidence of third parties, like I do, hacking my systems, emailing my passwords out of the business, locking me out of all of my online accounts, stealing my client lists, stealing my bank account details, my passport, all forms of identity. These people had access to my office, my digital house, which was all of my computer systems. They had access to my devices, my car, and unfortunately, due to the caring responsibilities of a couple of them, they had access to my daughter. These people have continued to assist my perpetrator. I have managed over the past 5 years to get evidence, and it's really sad. These are 3 to 4 women who knew exactly what was going on in my life at the time and directly saw the impacts to me and my child. However, they must have been offered a beautiful sum of money that's made it worth it to do what they did. Because the information and the keys to my life that they gave to my perpetrator has resulted in our near death many times. And it always comes down to money, doesn't it? So I've also had private investigators following me. I have a lot of paid people on the payroll, I think, that are around to intimidate, threaten, harass, and stalk us. So I just wanted you to be aware that if you think there are third parties aiding or assisting your perpetrator, there may be. In my case, it kind of feels like what they call gang stalking. I don't see how a single mum with a disability, no access to internet most of the time, phones, or a job, can really compete with this group of people. Have a look at the legislation, have a think about it, and share with me what your thoughts are. Please post and follow. I'm trying to raise awareness on the fact that these coercive control laws aren't working and there's nowhere to report them. If you go onto Police Link, there's certainly no box for stalking. There's no box for reporting coercive control. You have to go to the police station. I'm sorry, but victims who are traumatised don't want to go into the police station for fear of rejection or not being believed. Or secondly, the repercussions, because if you're like me and stalk 24/7 through technology, my perpetrators and stalkers know when I go to the police. I normally get back and everything I'd taken up there's been deleted off my computer instantaneously. So another lens and another way to look at coercive control. People don't always do it alone. That's how they do what they do. Please follow and share my post. Thank you.